Shalom, shalom. First off, we like to say, Kal Halal, Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, B'Kar Kodash, the one of Yahweh for giving us Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles of GMS who have the 100% spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai in them. Double honors to the CT bishops, elders of GMS, our big brothers. Greetings and salutations to the brothers in this country and all over the world who are prophesying in the true name of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Shai, which is none other than the power of the nation of Israel, which consists of you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and anybody who are descendants from those people on their father's side. Shalom to those who are scattered abroad. Shalom to the Akim and the Akraf. All right, here we are in New York. Let the scripture speak. NYC camp, serving the King of the universe. Okay, and yeah, man, we in the last days, man, and it's kind of evident, you know, with what's going on in current events right now, all around the world, the morals of the people. You know, you got crime and murder at an all-time high. You have, you know, all types of crime, whether it be robbery, embezzlement, at an all-time high. Whatever it is, domestic violence, everything that is negative in society has gone right up. Especially homosexuality and the LGBT, you know, I'm not going to get clipped, but that whole thing, that has gone to an all-time high. Okay? Civil unrest has gone to an all-time high. Okay? So you get the point that everything in this country, man, is going down the drain. It's going down the spiral. And really, it's the minds of the people. You people don't understand them. Why? Because you don't got the Holy Spirit, which is what the spirit of understanding. Okay? One major thing I just did a show on is going into, I got to upload when I get back home, but going into Nord Stream 1, and Nord Stream 1 pipeline and Nord Stream 2 pipeline that is controlled and owned by Russia, with Putin at the forefront of that. All right, and all the ones that go against Russia, which we all know America is against Russia, and the EU, right? Russia, Putin is cutting off gas supplies to Europe. All right, as of today, September 3rd, as of September 1st, Russia cut off gas supplies to France. All right, so no more gas for them. All right, and what does that spell? Now they got to go through, you know, energy rationing and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so what does that spell? Famine. All right, power and more civil unrest. Salakia, war. Okay, like the elder said.
Yeah, they say before war, right? Yeah, before war, there's always an economic. Yep. Right? That's why, yes, sanctions, America is good for that. Hell yeah. Throwing out sanctions like it's, like the Oprah, she gave out cars.
Just to back you up, you brought up sanctions, you're right. You're the one that told me that. But yeah, the sanctions, you know what they said in an article I read, is that inflation has risen up. With all the sanctions that America put on Russia, inflation has risen with all these developing countries. So all these sectors are fucking up all these other countries, but not Russia though. Who was intended to mess up their economy.
Right.
But it didn't.
Right. Because what America is trying to sanction, Russia doesn't make the majority of their money, so it has no effect. Right? I got a scripture real quick. You got mentioned about crime at an all-time high and people going crazy. That's what the prophecy is. Right? Because the Lord told us the things that were going to take place before He came. Tension between people is prophecy, right? This is Matthew 24, verse 10. It says, "And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another." Right? Yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory, you know, backstabbing and they promise certain deals, they don't go through with it, for their own self-interest, right? People are just getting, just say it in layman's terms, People are just getting more grimy, man. Right? Which is all prophecy.
Good.
It says, and I'm going to jump down to, I can read 11 points and 12. It says, and many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. Right?
Oh.
That's, man, within the last 2 months, you have the prophet that got robbed on live stream. You had the prophet, you had somebody that's the prophet. You had the pastor that was acting as a congregation for Rolex watch. Some
Got mad.
Watch.
And they cursed him out.
Cursed him out. Yeah, I was surprised nobody even bum rushed him, man. What they see him as part of them sees him as a man of the Lord, so they're not going to do that, right? But plenty of false, also within the Hebrew Israelite community, there are a lot of false prophets within that, man, right? But here's a point, right? It says, and because, verse 12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, right? That's what's happening now. You have the love of people. What happened to that love thy neighbor bullshit that you damn Christians and people throughout the world used to preach? All that shit is going out the window with these. Why? Because you're getting effective financially, man. And this is very frustrating to me. All right? So all that love, all that love shit, that shit is out the window. You're seeing crime in the subway going skyrocketing.
Oh yeah, but people are not doing nothing about it. Something happened, someone get robbed or hurt somebody.
Yeah,
doing it.
They'll record it though.
Yeah,
they'll record it and upload it for some damn likes and views. You see, man, the love and that. See, that's all prophecy. Just to say it plain and simple.
Second Ezra 9 and 1, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
Right, and those things that were told in time past were the prophecy that were going to take place before the Lord returns. There are a lot of things that have to happen. Matter of fact, it's going to go into it. What goes to the people, right? Shit is still crazy in Sri Lanka. I believe in Sri Lanka. Shit is still crazy over there. Now what they're doing now, right?
Sedition.
Yeah, sedition among men, right? Now what they're doing now, guess what they introduced? They introduced new form of currency. Digital currency. That's the next big thing now. Digital currency is going throughout all the world, man.
Yeah.
Why? Because that's their end game is to introduce the MOTB.
I mean, we should be allowed to say pretty soon because it's out there.
Yeah,
The chip, they have commercials about the chip. I mean, geez, man. It's gonna come. You're gonna hear RFID chip in the new. I mean, I'm saying it now, but they're out there saying it already, man.
There's a video of this guy that bought a Tesla. Unlock it with the CHIP.
Oh, it's waving.
It's waving.
Yeah.
Unlock the door.
No.
It just press the button. People are just brain dead, man.
Brain dead.
Wow. Man.
They don't want to even use their arms for
Man,
authority.
he's got a real strong spiritual power, man. And he's using it. And that's his words, right? And it's his lies. Right? He's able to convince people to just pretty much hang himself, man. Especially you Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans.
Jake eat it up all, the most.
The most, right?
Verse 3, it says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning.
Right, so when we see these things come to pass on the news, are we shocked? Are we taken back? No. We're excited because we know these things were spoken about that were going to take place before the Lord returns. Our number one concern is when the Lord is returning. That's on the top of the list. So when is the Lord coming? And you can go, even the prophets go like that.
Yeah, they were always interested.
Right, they hasten the Lord's return.
said, when at this time when you bring the kingdom, hey Lord, at this time they kept asking.
Yep. So that should be a prophet's number one concern. When is the Lord coming? We don't know the exact day, but we have spiritual breadcrumbs of things that are going to take place. So we know he's coming. So we know he's coming soon because the MOTV is damn near full effect. We got wars and rumors of wars within the nations, right? We got uproars of the people. We got earthquakes in diverse places. It's chariot. Lord willing, see, right? So it's not of any surprise to us when all these things happen, man.
Yeah. Isaiah 42:9 says, "Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them." So yeah, that's the reason why the Spirit of God outside that we know these things because prophecies that we see, we've seen this before in the past. All right, all prophecies that came to pass. All right, through visions. All right, and yeah, man, the Lord declares it through service to prophets. Okay, because the prophets back then saw the same vision. Okay, concerning the CHI people, upwards of the people of the world, famines. Pestilences, evil, these are the signs of the times, man. All right? So Yahweh Shah always declared his word, his prophets, always in his prophecy. You see what I'm saying? And the Lord let us know, because we are those that go. That's back in the reincarnation, doing the same works that we did in the past.
I got one for you, son, because you brought up, went into civil unrest and uproars of the people you brought out. And what does that mean? That you can't have that without division. Right? So this is prophecy. This is out the Lord's mouth. It says, Matthew chapter 12, verse 26, it says, 25. It says, and Yahweh Shah knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. All right, and that's straightforward. That doesn't even really need a breakdown. And how are you divided in this country? Well, number one, your politics, man. You're Republicans and you're Democrats. This is the most highest division that's ever been on the face of the planet, man. I mean, in the face of this country. All right? And since Trump was in office, now you got Biden. This place hasn't been more divided in any other time of the U.S. history, man. You talk to a Republican, they're going to blame it on the Democrats. You talk to Democrats, they're blaming everything on the Republicans. That's all they see everything through as far as problems are concerned in society. You know? And that will destroy you. You know?
Class division, right?
Yeah.
Racial division or divide. It's conflict within religion war, right? It's a class war, class hatred, So yeah, this place is more divided than ever, man.
It's kind of
even have the division within its race.
Yeah,
Within black people, within white people, within division. How could black people will be at odds with another black person that supports Trump? How could trade on you?
Yeah.
See, so this division is
all-time high. You know, it's kind of pathetic too when you talk to somebody about what's going on in the country of this world, and they just automatically want to blame another party. That's their whole solution to the problem. And you fall from it because, like what's that? He just died recently too. I think in March. Was it Jordan Maxwell? Our boy. Jordan Maxwell. He recently passed. Yeah. In March, which is he's like a super truther, man. Better than all these truthers today. This guy, broke down the Illuminati and everything, man, at high levels. Well, the guy we had a CD of him. something maxed out. The merit law, maritime law.
Oh, him?
He broke it.
Sovereignty law and all that.
Yeah, he was.
Him?
Yeah,
I mean, he died.
yeah. That guy.
Hey,
I know, right? So, what was I gonna say? That in March. Yeah, he used to always say this. What was I about to say? He always said, "Look, you have the right wing and the left wing, right? That's how they describe your departments of your political setup, whatever." And but he brought out the point, which I'll never forget, is makes sense, is that if you have a right wing and a left wing, what controls that? The brain. All right? It's no different from saying a right arm and a left arm. What controls the right arm and the left arm? Well, the brain. Okay? Which means basically they're both being controlled. There's no such thing as a Democrat or a Republican in society. They're both being controlled. They're both being told what to say. So, you got that mentality, man. Here it is. You're a double loser because you're just following brainwashed rhetoric, repeating whatever they, basically you're repeating what is controlled information. And then secondly, you're building more division within yourself. You got people go so hardcore with that understanding that if a family member is a Republican, they're a Democrat, they won't invite them to dinner no more. They could be your own brother. And let alone, let's not even bring up the jump shots, how that divided the people. And remember that old slogan that's on your dollar, I believe, or that goes back to the Fakinati, divide and conquer. All right? But what did the Lord say about division? The Lord said, Matthew 12:25, and Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. And every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. It says, and if Satan cast out Satan, then what does Satan mean? Anyway. Okay? It means adverse. Adverse to what? Adverse to the truth, which the truth is the spirit. Alright? The spirit of truth is the Holy Spirit, man. Ultimately. Which this fucking world doesn't have. Period. I mean, look at your goddamn society, man. If it was some truth, you would know that part of the truth is being in harmony, being in one accord. As far as understanding is concerned. But it's a lot of confusion, man. Hence Babylon. Okay, so if we could put adverse as cast out at the adverse, for Satan to cast out Satan, which means basically all you people believing is bullshit. You don't got the truth. It's just a bunch of non-truthers fighting amongst each other with non-truth arguments. And it says, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? So the Lord just said, gave you a token. If a kingdom is divided, I don't care if there's only two differences. You're not going to last. You're not going to stand. You can bring it out to a kingdom point of view, or you can bring it down to the household point of view. Who's the king of the house? The father. If the father don't got a wife, and you got kids that don't agree, then that house is finished, man. Which proves that's why our people are so fucked up. That's another whole subject. Why the father's not in the household, or if the father is there, there's division anyway. The mother and the father are arguing. This kid takes that kid's side, the mother's got the children against the father, So in all scenarios, man, this understanding that the Lord gave us stands true, man, in all aspects, man. In this aspect, we're talking about your society, your government. So that alone shows America is finished, man. Just tapping into the uproar in the civil. How's it happening? Because you're divided. There's not going to be no argument or division if everything's in harmony. That's an oxymoron. It makes no sense. Because the Lord's calling us in one spirit. Right? Scripture say what? How can two walk together unless they agree? Oh, you did? Oh, okay. I'll bring it out slow.
This is Amos 3:3. It says, can two walk together except they be agreed?
Yeah. Can two walk together except they be agreed? Well, it's just telling you there. The only way you're going to walk together if you agree. That's why you don't see us in GMS. The only unity camp we have is other GMS camps we come together. That's a true unity camp. And yeah, and that shows how stupid these motherfuckers are. Unity comes from what? Universal, which means or uno means one, right? In Spanish you say uno, or the card game uno, which means one. Uno or universe, unity. So how can you have a unity camp if you believe the so-called one can be saved, and this other group believe there's mermaids, this other group believes that Mark the Beast is a spirit, this one believes in embargo, but you want to have a unity, and then another they don't even believe in the Israelite, they believe in Hamitic shit. Because remember, these camps are joining up with Sonetta and shit, man. You know, one believes everybody can be saved. So you people, man, you know, all aspects, man. You don't got this truth. You don't got this truth. You're finished. You're done. Your mind's all get divided. Anyway.
Yes, sir. This is 1 Corinthians.
So yeah, you know, just going into the civil unrest, because your country's divided, you will not last. From the household all the way from a government. That's why you got militia groups, supporting. That's why you got civil war about to break out because of division. You got the rich and poor dividing themselves, like you mentioned earlier. And look at the world. Look at the world economics. World economics. I mean. We were talking about Russia earlier. Russia just announced last week, Russia and China, they're not messing with the U.S. dollar anymore. Period. It's finished. I mean, not at all. It's officially complete. They have not messing with the dollar anymore. Now, there's been stages to gradualism, but they don't fuck with it no more. It's over. And anybody who goes against Russia, they're getting their gas supplies cut off now. So what does that mean for America, man? Lord willing, this is the dark winter, man. Where you can't turn on your stove anymore. And they're gonna have energy rationing pretty soon, man. He didn't still wearing masks. That's Jacob.
1 Corinthians 1:10. Now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, that ye all speak the same thing, and that there is no divisions among you, but that ye be perfectly joined together in the same mind and in the same judgment.
Oh, I was about to tell you to get that. Okay, read that again, Scott.
1 Corinthians 1:10. Now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, that ye all speak the same thing, and that there be no divisions among you.
Yeah, so that's simple. According to the gospel of the good news, or the virtues laws of the Heavenly Father, which is this truth, by way of the Holy Spirit, because the Holy Spirit is truth. Okay, it's the understanding to get the truth, to comprehend. So what's the Lord telling you? If you have virtue, then there should be no division. All right, one understanding. And that's what this place that claims they know the Bible, which I'm not going to bring that up no more because they're trying to do away with it, and they don't follow any laws in the Bible. That's evident, man. But that they would have this understanding. But do they know? They have division everywhere, man. We can go on for days how much division it is that your own government puts out there, starting with your government setup, the two parties. Now you have, isn't it 3 or 4 parties? Democrats, Republicans, then you're a liberal, and then you're like an anti. There's another 4th name, I forget.
Liberal is still They got the Tea Party. But the liberal is still a Democrat. It's not as Democrat, you know. But it's still confusing. You know? It's still confusing. Like you'll go into the right and the left wing. They have one major. They both have one major goal. To have control.
That's right.
Right? To make you poor. That's it. That's their. They both have the same goal. They just go about it a different way. But they just give you the illusion of choice. Yeah, that's why this is the worst slavery, because
You don't know you're slavery.
yeah, the people don't know. You think us so-called Negroes that came to the Americans are slaves? You're practically slaves too.
That's right.
But you don't realize it.
Yeah,
That's
worse.
the worst. That's the worst form of slavery.
And actually, it's a worse form of slavery, but like the elite say, that's a perfect slave too. A perfect slave is the one who don't think he's a slave.
Right. And thinks that they have
Freedom.
of choice. Right? Like they can make their own decisions. Meanwhile, everything is programmed. Like these people are trained to think a certain way. Even the way school is, even the way the school system is, it trains a person to be a worker. Yeah. They don't train people to be independent business owners. They train them to be workers.
Like, for example, like, damn, I wish you would have had a credit course in high school. Middle
They
school.
don't want that. Why would they have that though?
Yeah.
No, I said that. I remember I was like, damn, why would they teach me? I remember I learned all this shit after. Like, man, they don't teach you about credit in school.
I wish we would have been all right, man.
It dawned on me. They don't want you to know about money. They want you to be a perfect worker, man. That's why the society has to build.
Under debt, which makes you a perfect slave, because debt. Oh, borrowed simple
So I
lender.
got it right here.
Hold on.
I got it right here. Proverbs 22:7.
We can hold that, if it come up, the bacha, right? The clay.
It says, the rich, Proverbs 22:7, the rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. And they know that, right? That's why each citizen, whenever they're born into what? Debt.
I think a baby is like 250,000.
It's
I mean,
something
that was
crazy.
years ago, though.
It's something crazy. I don't know.
It's worse now.
It's a big number. I don't know the exact number, but you know, like every person that's born, you're born into what? You're born, which means what? You're born slave. Yeah. And they make it where there's no way you can pay that debt off.
Yeah.
See.
Meanwhile, the government's spending $8 billion on military weapons or any other stupid project.
Well, look at all the aid they give to Ukraine. So far, Biden gave what? Something like
8 billion and
40 billion in Ukraine. $40 billion. Man. Imagine if you put that. This is why you can judge a person by their actions. It's clearly evident they want to destroy America. Exactly want to destroy America.
Why would you be spending money you don't have?
Yeah. They gave $40 billion to Ukraine. Meanwhile, this where we at right now,
Yeah, a million. A million is good.
Hell yeah, $1 billion. This shit looks like Beverly Hills, man. See?
There's some new health stores.
Yeah.
Or stuff like that. It's not hard to get things back together, man. Well, scriptures say, in the land of uprightness, they should do wicked. Right? The land of uprightness is our land, Israel. But the powers that be that control Israel, they control the world, man. So if they have the money we always bring out to wipe out America's debt, a lot of nations' debt. You got low level elites like Elon Musk. They said if he would have paid, he could pay each person here in America a certain amount of wage to the FBI. So you got even lower elites. Bill Gates, Elon Musk. What's the dude who owns Amazon? Jeff Bezos. Yeah, Jeff Bezos. These guys, them three together could fix this country, man. And we're talking about low on the totem pole.
Yeah, we've got the most billionaires we've ever had. Yeah, in history. Like, going into the financial divide. The middle class is slowly creeping into the poor class, right? And then the upper, you know what I'm saying, the top 1%, they just keep getting more and more available money, right? by scamming. Yeah, by scamming, man.
Oh, hell yeah, yeah. Where you done with that?
Yeah, Proverbs.
Are you ready?
Right. So real quick, because you got mentioned Esau getting his power, right? Isaiah 26 and 10.
Hold on. I got a few for you. Richard Boyd. This is Proverbs 14 and 20. It says, the poor is hated even of his own neighbor, but the rich man has many friends. Well, next one. It says, not even going nowhere, man. Yeah, I had the time to slow down. Anyway, Sirach 13 and 20. As the proud hate humility, so doth the rich abhor the poor. Sirach 13 and 20. As the proud hate humility, so doth the rich abhor the poor.
Pride and humility, so does the rich poor. And they just want to make the poor even more and more and more.
Yeah. Well,
you got to be a certain spirit to just want to take, and knowing the other person that you got shit. You done rob that motherfucker and get what you got. That takes a certain
demon.
Thank you. That takes a certain demon to do that, man.
Remember, we always bring out, and this is old steps, man. Remember, more than a half of the world's population lives less than $1 a day. Probably 50 cents now. Got another one for you. Ecclesiastes chapter 'Well, that was it. That was it.
That's on
Habakkuk 2, and I start at 4. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith.
We know what that's talking about. That's talking about Esau, man. They were created with a different spirit, man.
Yeah.
See, like Jake.
Third part of man.
Jake was created with you saw Cornelius and two Native Americans were created with a contrite spirit, right? Meaning if you do something bad, you somewhat have a remorse for it, right? And this is going, I'm talking about the most hardcore, thuggiest nigga on the block. They still have some form of sense of remorse. They're only built that way in society, right? They might have been, they went a hard time, jail, man. There's a lot of variables why they act that way.
Well, back in we're talking about the real thugs, real gangsters back in our day, the 80s, really the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Those are real gangsters, man. Them 3 decades, and they used to have something amongst themselves that they want to shoot kids. You know what I mean? Shit like that.
Yeah.
But we were talking about some super thugs, man. You know, just looking at me, oh shit, just look at me, I'm like, you know. But in this day and age, you got people killing the opposing person or whatever, the other rival gangs' parents, man, after they done killed them. There was a situation where some dude, you know, killed a rival gang member, whatever. Yeah, right. And then the mother went to go visit the grave, and they shot the mother at the site, at her own son's grave. So now is a thing where not only they going after you, they're going after you already dead, and now they're going after you know, the family members. It's got nothing to do with it. Only a bitch gets Esau's weapon to pull the trigger. I never wanted a gun in my life, even before the trigger. I never wanted one. And you know, that was my greatest fear. Even when, you know, to pop off with somebody. A little 2-year-old, a 12-year-old can have a gun and blow you away. You just never know. That's why this is the most punkish generation known to man. That you got little rugrats, and you got to kind of get away from these kids. You know you can knock them out with your pinky, but let alone he might have 2 things in his waist. Because they don't got it right up there. They got nothing but Wendy's juice in their brain, man.
Verse 5, it says, yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell.
Right, and that's going into all the characteristics of Esau, right? Enlarging his desire as hell, right? Never keepeth at home, always going into other countries, taking whatever he wants, taking their resources.
NBC's in each country.
Huh?
NBC.
Yeah. Right. And then when another country, like imagine if another country did what you did before.
Yeah.
Imagine if Russia had a embassy that wanted to deal with Canada. You think America would go for that? That's what America does throughout the whole world.
And then building military bases around. Imagine Russia built military bases around right next to Alaska, or right off the coast of Florida, or something like that. You know, America would have Russia would be the number one enemy.
Well, shit, that almost happened with Cuba Missile Crisis, man. What happened? We were that close to war, right?
But the point is, I'm sorry to say that, but America, they do that though. See, they can go in your backyard. That's what's going on now. Why do you think Russia's so pissed off? You literally got Ukraine. That used to be occupied by Russia.
It was part of Russia.
It was part of Russia, but who broke it up? America did. Do their proxy wars, man. All right. Now they got puppet leaders up in there in Ukraine, and they got interest in Ukraine. Russia trying to get the land back because why? America's building military bases there. Not for the benefit of Ukraine, but to have closer access into espionage or whatever they want to do over there in Russia, whether it be military attack or espionage or whatever have you, or better surveillance. And they're doing it all around Russia. You know, just building bases around. So, of course, if somebody's building all these, you have a house and somebody's building stuff around your house to surveil you, what are you going to do about it?
It says, yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Go to that part. He mentioned that just never can't be satisfied. Right? They got all the money in the world, and we look at some person will check this out. You know, he's attacking before money, or people don't even got it. He can't be satisfied. He got to split it to the dead.
So to back that up, now you've got the IRS, who just hired 87,000 new agents. And now the IRS is arming their agents now too. So pay your taxes. Oh, we don't give a damn, I'm just saying, but hey, but that's what shows that they're after every penny you're trying to make. So like we've been saying for years, there will be no more black market. No more under the table kind of jobs or work. And that's what it's leading to. Really, it's just leading to the MOTP. Forget them side deals or side, everything's going to be reported to the government. And the first step to that is the CBDC, the central bank digital currency, which already Biden already signed into office on March 9th. But starting with December 13th, no more cash. No more cash. Like I said, the IRS is arming their agents. They're going to go through all your records. And now they lied and said, oh, don't worry, it's only for the people who's going to get audited who make over $400,000 a year. That's BS though, man. It's going to go down to the average middle class person. Well, that's who it is. Zelle transactions, Cash App, all that's going to get checked out, man. So
verse 6, Habakkuk 2 and 6. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. It says, how long? And to him that layeth himself thick clay.
Right, it says, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. Right, and what does Esau love to increase? Lands that don't belong to him, right? They want to go into all these lands that don't belong to them and they want to take it over. That's how that's the trait of what Esau does. right? You got last one.
It says, woe unto him that increaseth that which is not his. It says, how long? And to him that layeth himself with thick clay.
Right, and to him that layeth himself with thick clay, don't we know that word clay? That goes back to the word ibaya. It's heavy debts. That's nothing, that's America. I think we're well over 30 trillion now, right? We're like, we're like probably, last time I checked, we're like 30, we're probably more than that. It's probably 31 trillion, and it's still a lot, it's still trillions. You see, why? Because they want to give out aid, $40 million to Ukraine. They want to put all this money into military, right? They want to spend all this goddamn money when they ain't got it, man, right? There you go. Which causes hyperinflation, right? It's not the products becoming more expensive. It's the value losing. It's the dollar losing its value. So that's the result of just printing money out of a printing press. But it's not backed by anything. It fucks up the other cash in circulation. You see? That's America, man. Who laded himself with big debt? Right?
They would have stuck with gold and silver.
Right.
This
would have had this problem. See?
That's Esau. It says, you can't specify why. That's part of his life.
Right.
To keep people trapped in the body. So, fulfill his agenda. I'm going to read verse 7. It says, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them. Yeah, so we come into a time when, these nations, they're mad, man. They're tired of America. And what they're going to do, they're going to go over America, man. All right, and this kingdom is going to become booty, man. All right, basically spoiled. Right. All right, and it's going, all hell's going to break loose. It's because of these damn devils, man. These people are mad because the way how the society is ran. Like you mentioned, a whole bunch of division, a whole bunch of confusion. And meanwhile, they trying to take us off the street because they're telling them like it is. Crazy got a problem with the truth of that. But it's all good though, because this is all prophetic. And it started with Matthew 24. Right? That's what's leading all these people, uproar. Right? They just gonna start killing. Worse.
That was let me read this. This is Isaiah 26:10. It says, let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he not want unrighteousness. I brought this out because when those going into how Elon Musk and all these other, they're still devils, right? But all these devils with their money, the amount of money they have, they can not fly. They can solve a lot of problems. They can resolve a lot of financial problems throughout the whole world, right? And that's just a few men, right? But that's the favor, right? Right? That's the favor. The favor has been shown to the wicked, meaning they've got the ability to solve a lot of the world's problems. They have this ability. Yeah. See? It says that favor be shown.
I'm sorry. And one favor, like I was talking about Elon Musk, Bill Gates, are you going into that? Yeah. Right? Now it's been proven that what you're talking about, they can actually clean up a lot of people's debt, or the middle class, whatever have you, right? But here's this, see, this is how they try to, this is the devil. Now Elon Musk, his way of helping people is to buy Twitter. And what's the other one, TikTok or some shit? And his whole idea is, which is all, how should I say, a slide. I'll just get to the point. His way of helping people is to buy social media, the popular accounts, and ultimately get rid of it. Because they do have a point that social media does, mess with your mind and mess with society and shit like that, right? And people are addicted to social media, so, and they're right, but That's his way of trying to help society. But it's all bullshit, man. You know, because really why they really want to take it over is because TikTok is bringing a lot of truth out, man. It's exposing a lot of the plans of the elites, which they don't care if you know, but they don't want you to know this much or that much at this time. So it's spoiling their plans. It's making it harder for them to bring in their agenda or their New World Order. You know? So that's the sly works of the devil, man. And it does seem to anybody, wow, yeah, Elon Musk keep trying to buy social media because he's trying to, eventually he's going to do away with it, now better our society. He makes some good talking points, but overall, there's a point to that. Why? Really, because there's really too much truth coming out of it. You know? So I just want to add to that. Sly ways of the devil, man. If you want to help, give people, give the poor money, right? Make it really equal, like you preach about all the time in your Constitution, whatever it happens.
Just don't tax. Just don't tax people.
Yeah,
Poor.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a goddamn thing. This damn society. I know what's going on. I know what's going to fix the society. Blowing it. I said the Bible. It getting blown to smithereens.
Yeah, that'll be in the
all right. Yeah.
You see what he said? He said, "You want to blow America? You want to blow this kingdom of God?"
You see?
So,
Yahweh Shai, right, has an ultimate plan.
Yeah.
Has an ultimate fix. Yeah. The Most High has an ultimate fix. Yahweh Shai is going to execute it, and that's blowing this place to smithereens. And taking Esau out of power, and becoming the king and king, Lord of lords, and having total rulership on the planet Earth. Yeah. That's a good plan. So fuck Twitter. You know, because TikTok, all they're going to do is create another one.
Yeah, another one. Yeah, with really disinformation on social media side. That's what we're doing, right?
Right? It says, Isaiah 26:10, let favor be shown to the wicked, yet will he not want righteousness, right? Because he has the ability, like I was going into, to solve all these financial and worldly problems, world hunger, right? He can stop telling fucking lies and telling the truth. But he chooses not to do that. Why? Because righteousness is not in Esau. Right? Because they're wicked. He's not upright. Right? You just read that, right? Absolutely. Right? His spirit can't. He can't. He's not programmed to do that. See? In the land of now it's going into the land of Israel, like I mentioned, right? It says, in the land of uprightness, he will deal unjustly and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. Yes. And if you go over there to the land, you were just like an alien that was just brought here, and you were brought to Israel, and you were told, listen, in the Bible, this is the land of no civilization,
virtue and
knowledge and truth, and the righteousness, cradle of righteousness. Go there. You go there. On the week of, what's that shit they got?
Big City.
The parade. Well, it's in Pink City. You go to Pink City in the week of that fucking satanic homosexual faggot parade. Man, you'll be like, what the? You'll see all this.
This is virtue?
Faggots, faggots fucking in the street.
Men wearing thongs.
Yeah, you will be like, what the hell is this? This is like, is this better? You would think this is some fucking night thing.
Yeah.
See, a freak spanks you. You'll be like, what type of freak show is this? See? But that's what they're doing in the land of Israel. They are polluting the Holy Land. That's it. You know? Huh? Unjustly and will not behold the majesty of the Lord. Right? So they're not going to uphold the scriptures. Right? They're just going to create what they got, the Talmud they use. They use the Talmud, which is not the Torah. They don't come from the scriptures. They make up their own shit. You see?
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Now, because you bring up the tablet, I saw a brother post this week and say, like, how come vocab is not speaking about this? And it was a fucking small hat, hold that small hat going into what they do going to their law when they circumcise the baby.
Oh yeah, they might, yes.
Fucking,
Yeah,
I forgot about it. They suck the blood. They suck the blood at the penis, at the baby's penis, man.
After they bite it, right?
After they
bite it off.
What?
Yeah, they bite it off. They bite it off. That's why what happens is sometimes they give babies herpes because of that sometimes. See? This is the devil, man.
I got joke there.
What vocab, man? Maybe
animals, man.
Maybe vocab don't know that, man.
So let me get this right now. See, this is what you fucking calm down. This is what you dirty fucking white people are, man. You so-called white people, man. You're a leader, element cat. Small hats, man. It's a lot. You gotta calm down. You're nothing but a bunch of dirty dogs, man. Like Jeremiah said. Was it Job or Jeremiah? Like a Job
Yeah,
once he said herpes,
this is the spirit we're dealing with, man. Esau is a foul, dirty, decrepit spirit. This is the same spirit, a person that we didn't want to lie with our animals, man.
Yeah, we kept them separated. Man.
Yeah, we kept them separated.
Far
because
away.
Edom is a foul, decrepit person, man. Basis of men. Right? You got all the table of nations. These motherfuckers are on the bottom. They don't get no worse and more dirty and more unrighteous and wicked than damn Edom. See?
That's how I feel. I'm not biting my stomach. It's disgusting, yo.
That's just the things we know about. There are plenty of things that haven't come to light yet about the wickedness acts of Esau. See? But the Most High knows. Yahweh Shai knows. That's why the Bible, these words in the scriptures speak about destroying Edom, man. Right? So
First slavery.
Huh? No, go ahead.
The first slavery. They gotta serve themselves.
Oh no, yeah, they gotta serve their time, man, because Esau, you so-called white people, have not been judged for the wicked acts that you have done in this world ever since you came back into power, man. And the Most High, the universe, whether you want to believe in Him or not, He's going to come back and judge, man. And that's what these scriptures speak about. The scriptures speak about judgment against Esau for his wicked acts. Esau, when I say Esau, that's what you white people are called in the Bible, man. In the same Bible that you go to your church and pray to. Yeah, but little do you know, this Bible condemns you people, man. And we're reaching the point of judgment very, very soon, right?
Ecclesiastes 8 and 11, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
Right, so it says because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, right? The sentence or the judgment for all the wicked acts that Esau has done, y'all haven't been judged for it yet, so you just, I ain't gonna get judged. Let me just keep doing my wickedness, right? It says, because sentence against an evil work, and you have plenty of evil works. Okay? Esau, you got plenty of evil works, and we just named one of them. Biting the foreskin to circumcise a child. That's a wicked act, man.
Then they suck the blood.
And sometimes if the damn small hand or Amalekite is dirty enough, they'll give the baby herpes, man. I mean, that's disgusting. Shouldn't that alone tell you, hey, maybe this isn't a good thing to do, giving the babies herpes? Maybe this isn't what we're supposed to do.
First, you're not even supposed to suck blood according to the law. You're not supposed to have blood, have intake blood in the mouth.
That's different. Probably, Oh, shit, well, it does. That probably does. It's a law. It's a law. Well, I'm talking about the Talmud.
Oh, yeah.
It says it has no problem with sucking the blood because they do it. This is where they get their they justify it by the Talmud. Like, look, this is what we have to do. I have to circumcise my child with my mouth. You see? Right? Sick, man. We're dealing with a sick individual, man. You see?
It says, because sentence against evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil.
Right. Now, the sons of men, speaking about, in this context, he's speaking about Esau. They're, in their mind, they're going to just keep on and keep on and keep on with wickedness, man. See? They ain't going to stop. Why? Because they haven't been judged. Right, but that's judgment very, very, very soon.
Let's pull up that tab.
Right, there you go. What's the scripture? He that diggeth a pit shall fall to rent. That's all the Most High is doing. He's allowed. It's like you're an owner at a bar, and people come in and they just ordering, and they didn't get sent the bill yet, so they're like, well, we just keep ordering, right? Little do you know that manager ain't forget about that bill, man. You still got to pay it. Somebody got to pay. You see?
Verse 12, it says, though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Most High.
You know what I just thought of? When you said that, I was thinking also somebody does a case, like a court case, like the DEA or something. They're looking at a drug distributor or whatever. You know, they just let him fucking sell drugs for 2, 3, 4 years just to build up, you know, keep racking.
Yeah.
And they could get him in that first deal.
Yeah.
But now they want to be ex-devils.
Yeah.
You know?
This is he'll get off in whatever. He'll get off in 2 years. Let's keep it. You see that movies all the time. No, keep doing it. We'll get it for the. I already did my part. You know what I mean? I did my job. It's like, no, well, if you do it for this, get it for this. Yeah. You see that in movies all the time.
Donnie Brasco.
Yeah, Donnie Brasco. Yeah, you know what? You're doing a good job. Try to have him talk a little more.
You really said it.
Yeah.
That's devilish too, because what is it? Is it about the crime, or is it about you just trying to get the best amount of case and put them away from whatever, you know? If you're trying to catch a mass murderer, are you going to keep murder people until...
Yeah, keep committing crimes.
Until, you know what I mean?
Committing crimes.
Yeah. We'll wait till the 10th man.
Yeah. Right.
Then we stop.
Yeah, then we'll stop.
Kill people, man, you know, and justify the means.
But see, with the Most High, he's doing it this way to prove a point, man. You know? Because at some point, we'll just finish and stop. You know, even people who say, like, yeah, I'm going to stop after a while. Well, even Scarface, he was about to move on with his life. Well, I don't know if that one, maybe he does not a good job. Well, he was, right? Wasn't he about to move on before that last scene?
Nah.
With the girl? Huh?
Hell no, that's Scarface.
Okay, no.
The only thing, he got righteous because he didn't want to kill
that kid. Yeah. I'm thinking about Carlito's Way.
Oh, yeah, he's way. Yeah, he's getting
same
righteous.
shit. This is Scarface part 2.
Righteous. Yeah.
Carlito's Way, right? Yeah, he was about to get himself right.
Yeah.
He want to move, maybe.
Yeah,
You know? At least some people, you know what I mean? When you do certain things, at least there's a finishing point. All people can look at, and they pass it on to the next guy. But see, the devil, he don't stop. This has been going on for hundreds of years. It's like, oh yeah. This has been going on for hundreds of years, man. Okay? This damn devil.
Back in Ecclesiastes 8 and 12, though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Most High, which fear before him. But, it says, but it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before the house shall shine. Let's start at verse 12. Okay. Ecclesiastes 8 and 12, though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, which fear before him. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feareth not before the heavenly Father.
Right. So that's why fear is important. It's important, man. You have to have a healthy level of fear to not go off and not do unrighteous. You see, Esau, he doesn't have a healthy level of fear. That's why he's continuing in his wickedness.
He has no fear.
Right.
You had that worm, Yuval, Harari, Yuval, Noah Harari. The dude who said, he said this. He said, we can make God as angry as we like. We don't care.
He said, angry?
Yeah, Yuval Noah Harari. Meaning that, yeah, he said we don't need God anymore. We have created. He said man created gods. Man created gods, and then man became gods. He's an atheist. Which
really?
He's not. He's really a Satanist. Which is that doctrine that we believe that they don't believe in. And remember, he's a small hat, by the way, too. A homosexual out of born in Israel. But the point is, he said what? He said, we can make, we can make God as angry as we like. We don't care. All right? That's from a small hat himself. He said, Yuval Harari, whatever his dumbass name is. All right? Which shows you outwardly who they are, man. They don't have any fear of the Most High. They said we can make God as angry as we like. We don't care. Yeah, he said we can make. You pull up the Coke up the show? He just made it like this week. He said we can make God as angry as we like. We don't care. And he's showing how stupid that he is. Showing how dumb you so-called white people are. His whole thought process. This whole low-level peanut brain, bacteria brain, and I'm still being given credit. His knowledge is saying that because they can make certain foods now and create water and do certain things that nature, the ecosystem can do, that they don't need God anymore. That they can splice genes, that they can create water, that they can create certain storms in agriculture. Well, he said his point was, the God of the Bible, if he get angry at you, he'll just create a famine. Or mess with your life, or kill your life, or your agriculture. Or bring a group of locusts over to devour your crops. But his point was, but now, God can do that all he wants, but now we can make water now.
See, this is why...
That was his understanding. And you put... No, go ahead, you want to say that? That's his understanding. That's your only aspect. The thing you defeated the most. Look, man, you woo. I don't know how to respond to that, man. The Most High created your spirit, you dummy.
I do. Psalms 14:1. It says, the fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. So, it says, Psalms 14:1, the fool hath said in his heart, there is no God. So to you, what's his name?
Naval, Noah.
To you, Naval, you're a fool. Right? I mean, you don't have, like I said, you don't have a healthy fear of the Lord, which is, fear of the Lord is what? Understanding, right? You don't understand the Lord. The Most High has plenty of bags. He has innumerable bags in his arsenal, man, of how to kill people, kill you, kill society. Do you think all he got is pen? He's going into the... Are you... Man,
Yo, man, that quote, you're gonna be written in the scriptures, man. You're gonna be a little special in the kingdom, man. His name in the kingdom is gonna be "You Care Now." How do you say that in Hebrew? I'm gonna find a quote. I'm gonna find this quote, man.
Right. Let me read this. Second Edges 15 and 3. It says, "Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee." Right? That's pointed to you. No. Right? We don't care about, right? Does it go into more incredulity or goes into unbelief? He obviously has a deep unbelief. He probably got molested by a pastor or something, so he just hates.
That's why he's the way he is. I mean, he's the Amalekite.
Well,
he's a wicked by default.
Yep.
You know?
So, we don't care about your unbelief, right? Just because you don't believe something's going to happen, or if you don't believe in anything, it doesn't mean it just poof, vanishes and then doesn't exist.
This guy makes a whole bunch of dumb quotes. He says, there are no gods, no nations, no money, and no human rights except in our collective imagination. These guys are fucking bug out. So there's no up and down. That's an excuse because they're trying to do away with them getting the blame for being evil, man. That's another reason they try to do away. They try to do away with the righteousness of the Bible. Because if they were to acknowledge evil and right or wrong, then you would be taken out of the picture, man. Only a devil, well, like the scripture say, a fool will say in his heart, there is no God. You got to be an idiot to believe that there is no power, man. And the devil, he persuaded you to believe that there is no God. Right? What is the quote from a movie? I forget. The devil's greatest trick is to make you believe there is no God. And it makes sense. Excuse me. Yeah, that he doesn't exist. And if you really think about the word devil, meditate, well, that would be his ultimate goal. To not make you believe. The devil was going to make you believe in God? Nah. The whole point of the devil, he's a fucking liar. False accuser. So his whole embodiment is to make you not believe and to make you fall away from the Most High. So the ultimate goal will make you not to believe that there's a God in the first place. So the devil does exist, man, because if you go into creationism alone, which I love, that alone tells you that we were created. There's no such thing as evolution, but creationism. The way electricity flows and connects with others. They did a magnet trick, I forget the term, they did a magnet situation. Where they had certain exercises where you have a magnet dust, you put a magnet and you just throw the magnet around, maybe on the table and there's magnets under. And they just see how the magnet lies. And it creates something, with positive energy, negative energy. I look at some stuff like that. They had another exercise where they had in water or some kind of time lapse where they had a magnet set somewhere, a certain part of the room with magnet dust, magnet particles, and it let it, it formed, it connected and formed a certain way off of the magnetic energy. Because we're we're electrically powered and magnetically powered by the power that goes on, through the sunlight. So the point is that when these magnetic dusts were connecting, it looked like the veins in your arms, or it looked like because our veins replicate, the roots in trees. And then it started to grow. It was like stem-like. So it shows you that electrical power, magnetic power, forms stem-like features for life. So I'm not really explaining like a scientist, but I'm just explaining what I saw. And that's what it is. And everything you see around you is stem-like. Like the trees, they stem off. And then remember, this is brought how? Through the sun, which is electricity. Or the electric violet rays, the sun rays, which is called what? Photosynthesis, right? That's why it turns green with the chlorophyll and things. I'm not science and maintenance we're learning in school, right? And we're all being grown upright because the electricity is making us grow that way. We have veins in our, so it's really deep. I'm just explaining in layman's terms, but that's one aspect, a really deeper aspect to show that we are, created. Let alone all the stuff you see in society. It just didn't prove it happened that way. This was created. This was put together. And, if you go into the ologies, which means the study of a lot of the ologies that you study, you know, the higher ups in that department, whatever, or in that study, they know that, okay, you know, this is crazy. You know, I always believe like certain mechanics or doctors, you know, mechanics, cars, you can replicate their body with certain things. Or computer itself, computer, how it works, how it functions. Even the HVAC system, your air conditioning system. You know, when you check the pressure in the condenser, you know, it's like checking the pressure, or checking your blood pressure. One of the nicknames for a condenser, part of the AC unit, is called what? The heart of the system. It's called the heart. So that, you know, I'm not just putting in real quick to say that you got to be a fool to think that there's no God when you just go into creation and by itself, and it proves that everything you see around you was actually manufactured, man. It was actually put together. It was they call it, excuse me, intelligent design. You know, intelligent design. So if you go into everything around you, prove that there was intelligence behind that. Yeah, and let alone the Most High created the spirit, man. So if you want to put the world in a box, so yo, I don't know even how to compare your brain size. You don't got one, all right? To say that oh, just because you can so-called create certain climates and replicate food and create water, all of a sudden you don't need God. So this God is just good for making, like, come on, man. It's way deeper than that.
He's not. He's kind of right the way he doesn't have a God. You know what I mean? That's why they call him bastard. See, Esau, you don't have a power. You know, the only nation that has a power is the nation of Israel. In Native Americans. You don't have a power. See? So, right. I'll read this again. So I'll say this again. Psalms 14:1. The fool hath said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good. It says, one more verse. The Lord looked down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there were any that did understand and seek the Most High. They are all gone aside. They are all together become filthy. There is none that doeth good, no, not one. Right? And who fits into that category of unbelievers or ones that don't believe in the Most High? Esau. Was that guy was a Jew?
Yeah. Paul, Noah, Harari. I looked it up
they
too.
Changed their name. They changed their name. Harari.
But it's funny, you know, I'll just say, now I looked it up. I thought maybe it would show where you just, you know, I looked at I saw the difference. I looked at his name, his vibration. So Yuval means street or flow. Didn't really see nothing there, but then you know Noah means comfort. And it gets what Harari means, which really is Arabic. It goes back to mountain dweller.
Wow, Harari.
So his name is really flow, basically get the flow out or street. Just say a comfortable mountain dweller. That's what he is. So his old name proves he's a goddamn Edomite, man. A cave dweller. You ain't nothing but a goddamn cave dweller, man. You goddamn red demon. Only a cave dweller would say something like that. You mountain dweller. Here's a one dumb quote from him. We are in the race to become God. History began when humans invented God, and it will end when humans become gods. That's the quote. One of the dumb ones. Yeah. So basically, he's saying like other atheists would say, which he's not. He's a Satanist. He worships Satan. But he's supposed to act like an atheist. But the point is, you know, to tell you that they believe, we created God to make us more comfortable. Okay.
It's the other way around.
Yeah.
So 2 Corinthians 6 and 14, it says, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion have light with darkness? Yeah, so fact of the matter is that we ain't supposed to be dwelling amongst unbelievers, man. Because this is all about faith. Yahweh Shah. I read the scripture earlier. It happened to a fourth, the just shall live by his faith, man. Esau doesn't have any more faith. The Edomites don't have any faith. All right? And the rest of these heathen nations, doing 2/3 of our people, we're not supposed to be dwelling amongst unbelievers. All right? It says,
and that faith was given why? And I think faith is given to man by the Most High.
right.
Right? So, yeah, of course, Esau didn't have faith. Now, one way to find out, or one indicator of somebody actually not being an Edomite and actually being an Israelite is if they have abundance amount of faith. Right? But where they seem very spiritual, because Jacob is spiritual, not according to knowledge, right? So they have a heavy belief in what they perceive as God. That's a good indicator of them being an Israelite, despite them looking like another nation.
It says, for what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness, right? We're supposed to be keeping the commandments to the best of our ability. And you got these devils that's just out here blatantly don't give a damn about the most steps of the commandments at all.
Here's another one. So, quote, you bound the love of Herrera's quote, humans are hackable. So what is happening? So the MOTB is fake, right? When you got one of these elites saying, a lower elite saying humans are hackable, what would that have to allude to? Yeah. Because you can't hack anything without a chip. A program, you know?
The fact of the matter is, we're supposed to, dwell amongst people that are, breaking the commandments. This is what we are supposed to be doing, during this, grace period that Yahweh Shah has gave us. All right, we got to be reversing the righteous acts. Esau and Edom ain't doing that. We talk about the scripture. It says about the majesty of the Lord, about the truth. Esau and Edom don't care about it. All right, here it is. He gives you rules, and you got to follow them. But this nigga don't want to follow the Most High's rules. This dude is crazy, man. And it says, in what communion have light with darkness? Right, that don't go together. You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, this light, this truth, this is Yahweh Shah, all right? This word is basically overtaking, this world, man. Which is this word. But you got men that love darkness rather than light. Because their true intentions is that what? That these are actually evil. Speaking against Yahweh Shah, saying that they don't exist, that's evil. That's why we're in the time now where they're going to get punished, man. Grievously. These devils are about to go on to slavery, man. The Lord's about to show them, ain't going to be no more talking. All right? The Lord's going to put in action. We in that time, real soon.
So basically, man, the time's at hand, man. This year is going to be a hell of a year by the time it ends.
In Lamentations 4:21, it says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. So yeah, you devils, you better rejoice. Continue to do your wickedness, all right? Because at the end of it all, and you're being exposed, and you can't stop the word of Yahweh Shah going out, all right? Through the service of the prophets, man. So it says, talk about that cup, right? The cup is what? Slavery. You're going to drink the dregs thereof, as the Lord said. The bitter part to it, man. But basically, you're going to have to deal with the curses that we're dealing with. All right? We're going to be in our kingdom righteous. Having those new bodies, having those statutes of commandments within us. We're going to have to beat the nation of slavery. You're you're going to be servitude unto Yahweh in the nation of Israel. So this is why this truth is coming out, man. Because you have to be exposed for the devil that you are. That's how you know we have to end. You know? What is Second Thessalonians, the second chapter? Where it talk about only he will not let it or let until, you know, he be taken down. Yeah, until he be taken out the way. And he's being taken out the way from this word right now. You know, and soon it's going to be physical. Alright, so rejoice and be glad that, to continue to be the devil that you are, because we're at the time where all that's about to stop. You know, the spirit of power, how much you gonna shine. I just want to get that clear.
I was there when you just quoted that. Right? This is second Thessalonians 2 and 7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who will not let it will let until he be taken out of the way.
And that's the Most High doing it.
Yeah.
So, and this guy is talking about, this brother's talking about, this devil is talking about what? That, that they're in control, all right? Whatever decision that they make is up to them. No, man's goes up in order. See what I'm saying? Only he will not let it, let until he be taken out the way. That's your how about now shot. That's going to take you down. All right, the mystery of iniquity, the mystery of sin. Who's the man of sin? He's so innocent. We're in that time where, y'all being exposed for all the wickedness that y'all pushing out, still pushing out until this very day. The spirit of his mouth, which is the prophets.
It says, then shall that wicked be revealed.
Yeah, the wicked be revealed. They're being revealed. All right? Being shown negative. All right? You see that skirt is being lifted up. Okay? You see? The wicked is Esau Edom. Right? So-called Caucasian, so-called white people. All right? You're being revealed by the prophets of Yahweh Shad. And you can't deny that y'all are the devil. You know? All this information out here, yet you still want to, clip brothers' videos, clip brothers' pages, and it is what it is, man. You see what I'm saying? This is all prophetic. It's all coming to pass, man. This all the workings of Yahweh Shad.
It says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
Being consumed with the spirit of the Lord's mouth, which is the service of prophets, right? By us bringing out this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, bringing out the true characteristics of this devil, how this devil moves, operate, how you get down, things like that. The Lord is showing us, through the Spirit, man. And we actually reading the Spirit. So you see how this devil making lies, got the whole world confused. You got these people's minds bugged out. Hey, man, this is all the work of the Yahweh Shad, bro. You can't say that there's no God. How dare you? It shows that you're really a fool, man. And it says the brightness of his coming. What is that? The chariots. But you devils are scared of, man. All right? That's why, you have that, sixth branch consumed. Y'all about to go to war with Yahweh Shad, man. The heaven host of angels. You're going to get obliterated. By Yahweh Shad and angels, should concentrate the fire from our consumes. Murder these people like this. Finish it over.
It says, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and wonders.
Yeah, especially with that CHIP. Certain people need that, they handicapped, probably got it. You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden they can walk. Things like that. And then that's a wonder, but you taking that shit, man, that's what going on, bro. That's a total lie. The Lord ain't tell you to take that shit. You see what I'm saying? The Lord is against it. Just like Esau is against the Yahweh Shad. Coming in the works of sin. Right? You see?
With all deceivableness and unrighteousness in them that have perished because they're received not the love of the truth that they might be saved.
This is why, that's why 2/3 ain't gonna be in it. We deliver, right? And they've been deceived by the devil. They believe this. Everything that he says. This is why you're not going to receive salvation, man, because truly 2/3 of our people, they have the spirit of they're so hungry, you know? And that's why they're not going to be saved from themselves. Because they don't love the truth. They love lies, man. Isaiah 30 says, speak unto us, speak words, prophesy deceits, speak lies, man. That's what you Jake's so-called Nicholas Latino American. Y'all love to hear that from his devil's mouth, man. And it's all going to get you destroyed.
Right. It says, for this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusion.
That's right, man. Believe that he saw Edom as a power. All right? Believe that he saw Edom as a so-called God, man. Believe that God is a so-called white man. Jesus Christ so-called white man. Angels are so-called white people. All right? That we not the Israelites. A whole bunch of strong delusions out here. All we doing is telling you the truth according to the scriptures. That's how you know God said about people, they're just out of here. And y'all have to be destroyed, man. You know? The Lord got to set y'all niggas' minds, man. But you got to death. Death by pain.
Yeah, death by pain. The master.
Right. So, society.
Why is the Bible so long?
No.
Isaiah 66 verse 4. I also will choose their delusion and will bring them and will bring their fears upon them. Because when I called, none did answer.
Yeah, the Lord is giving y'all over to the storm. Alright? When the demons are there, got this the new environment, the whole environment. So they can all kind of basically all type of blasphemies. They're saying that there's no God, so on and so forth, man. You see what I'm saying? You got people out here taking Jews, thinking that's going to save them, so they can, continue to live in this society, man. Walk outside, wear a damn mask, think they're going to be protected from, whatever boogeyman is out there. But at the same time, man, it's your Hamas now shot that got you people to see, man. It says the deceive and the deceiver are his. All right? Y'all gonna pay for that, man.
When I spake, Isaiah chapter 66 verse 4, I also will choose their delusion and will bring their fears upon them.
Yeah, and the Lord's going to bring major fear upon you people. All right? Watch when the Lord completely cut off the food supply. All right? Watch when the Lord, start, evicting you. You see what I'm saying? You get thrown to the concentration camp. All right? When these pessimists, begin to run red on the earth. You see what I'm saying? So on and so forth. The Lord God basically, I should say, set up. The Lord's going to lure you right to your destruction. Because all the wickedness that you devil been pushing out, what you Jakes are doing, even nations are doing. The Lord said, I would laugh against the lamb. I will mock when the fear comes. The Lord's going to laugh at the servants of the prophets. Right? The ones that are out here, putting their lives on the line for the election, they can be saved. They can go to the great to save as well. We're going to have to be in the midst of all of that. And the Lord going to show you how to feel. Real soon. All that pride is going to be brought out.
It's on a small scale when the internet is taken away. These people ain't going to be able to go and Google whatever answer they search for, right? But they're really going to be searching for what? The truth. Because by that time, it's going to be the full course meal of family of the word. And then family of the word, the tongue shall cleave to the roots of thy mouth. Talking about the prophets ain't gonna be out on the highways and byways, and they know what we're saying is the truth, but they are so carnal, so fleshly, they're so into the world, into the matrix, that those demons got them from their brain. They're not gonna come seek the higher counsel of the Lord.
Right. That's back to what you said, man. Yeah, man. Basically, hey, these people going out to face reality. Like you mentioned with the internet and shit. These people they live a false life. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit, man. We're the only ones that's actually facing this every day, man. We actually see it for what it is.
Well, you hit it on the tee, man. I forget what quote it was, but I forgot where I saw it. The psychologists have broke down basically what's wrong with these people. That's what it is. They literally don't live in reality.
Right.
I mean, I don't like to say it this way, but I don't want to say. I guess you need to take away the Bible, which is impossible to do. But even in their own world, their own setup, it's not based on realism. It's not based on reality. Which if it's not real, then it's a lie. It's fake. Which is what synonymous with the devil. Because if it's fake, then it's phony. Right? It's not real. If something's fake, it's posed to being as the real thing, or else it's not fake. So this whole society, man. Like if you earlier, you said that was going into that. That people in America now, they're still slaves. Compared to what we were before. The only difference is, they think they're free, which is facade. It's fake. Like we were saying earlier in the spirit, the perfect slave is one who thinks they're free. But basically, whatever they think is free is fake. The reality is you're a slave. You have a social security number that points to you're a slave. You're nothing but stock. So that's the realism of that, man. And a whole bunch of other examples.
What the scripture says is illusion. The Lord shows you.
Oh, yes. Exactly.
Yeah. This nigga wear a mask. Put this girl in, this woman to go, take the juice. So they make it seem like you're gonna live longer. A whole bunch of delusions, man. The Lord gave you up.
Well, I can't get too much of it, but the whole understanding of the virus that made that whole shit up. The word virus really goes back to venom, and that's it. I'll leave it at that, which goes back to poison. And going into the whole medical industry, man. You go into the history of the Rockefellers and how medicine, the whole pharmaceutical industry started, or the medical system, or the medical schools in the early 20th century. What is it? J. Rockefeller or something like that. He rewrote the medical books. He rewrote the medical books that changed the whole course of the history of what you know as what sickness is.
That's why they condemn like holistic healers and they ban certain herbs coming into the states and all of that because it's an industry.
I forget what it's called, but you might remember. I forget, but it's those things you mentioned. Holistic medicine. What do you say in the video? Mean that not regular practice. I forget the term used for it, but if you were to use holistic medicine, it wouldn't be if it's not considered by the medical field or the doctors, Yeah, mainstream. It's not medical. It's not good medical advice. Outdated.
Like actually like healing people, that's really their problem. Now it's like, now you're an enemy. Basically, you're going directly against the whole big thing.
Exactly, you're right. Because remember what they did when it first came out? I think it was I forget which Rockefeller. I think J.D. Rockefeller. But actually, they were starting to not blackmail some doctors, or they would lock them up.
Like they say now,
Take away their practice.
they'll cancel.
Exactly. They shut down their business. But we can't have this guy killing people. He just killed 50 people in this town. No. If they can get bond shit, they're going to get sick. You know what I mean? Slowly kill them. They're going to be in our office. You know what I mean? Because all medicine, you know, I get into that, I guess, whatever. All medicine is petroleum-based medicine, which is a residue of oil, man. And if this first monopoly controlled was oil, and they had a remnant of oil, which they just started, oh, what should I do with this? And they start creating vaccines with that. Start creating drugs with that. You know? And also chemical warfare. A lot of this stuff we take from the pharmaceutical industries is all it first began in the military, man. Military weapons. Military, I guess, chemical agents. You know, now it's medicine too. Now it's called a vaccine. Now it's in your water, sodium fluoride. That's a metal remnant, man. A barium, whatever happened.
Job 13:4. It says, "But ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value." Yeah, right, basically going what you're saying, like this place, those that medicine that they give you, these doctors, quote unquote, that's to just basically kill you slowly. It's to keep you coming back, to have a lifetime customer. You know, like they sell you pills and shit that's gonna keep you on it. It'll like put away the symptoms, but it's not curing it, as opposed to like going directly into it, like with the Lord permit.
Don't forget your thought. This is just a disclaimer.
Right.
We're not doctors up here. We're just looking at the evidence.
Right.
Many people are dying off this, whatever, jabs, and it's not working. Even Bill Gates admitted, well, it didn't work like we wanted to, but, you know, this addict. So we're not doctors up here. You can't delete us.
Right, and at what cost? So it didn't work, and they're just cool with it, but
Yeah.
20 million people just died. Just throwing a number out there, but
A lot of thousands of people have been affected. You've got cerebral palsy, paralyzed, amputations, boils, the bumps,
Heart attack.
heart attacks, autism. There's a lot of things that came from Esau's devices. That's why the Lord said, "Be not ignorant to Satan's devices," because Esau works with Satan. Esau is the human counterpart of the spiritual ruler Satan on the left-hand side.
at all, when they dropped that juice, they dropped it, 2/3 of our people, they was asking like, oh, is that the MOTV? Like they felt like, so they know what time it is. That's the main question that people kept asking. People that's not in the truth, none of that. They're like, yo, is that the MOTV? Is that which I think is just the mark? But they still took it though.
No, you're right. Say that. They have the fear of the Most High, not according to knowledge. Because that means at one point in time, somebody in their family told them about the Ark of the Beast. Somebody told them about Revelation 13. They heard it in a movie or a show. And they've seen us out here. Or seen us out here. So that means this word is damn near have reached the four corners of the earth. The elect are almost sealed, and that's when sudden destruction comes out. Once the elect is sealed, that's when shit's gonna hit the floor. I got something. Oh no, finish it. Isaiah chapter. Oh yeah. Isaiah chapter 66 verse 4. Because when I called, none did answer.
You see, this is why 2/3 of our people because they're not listening to the counsel of Yahweh outside and certain prophets called the apostles on down. Alright? That's how the Lord is talking. Alright, he's talking to the servants. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion. Right? And sound the alarm about the mountain. That's us, man. Us so-called people that you know today the mountain. The trumpet is this word. Right? This truth. This wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Yo, we live in evil days, bro. And the Lord is using Esau, the wicked, for the day of it. You know what I'm saying? It said, because the Lord created all things for himself. Today, keep the wicked for the day of it. or because you haven't conditioned?
Two-thirds are turning their back on the Lord, is turning back on the lost of the commandments that in their mind, the Christian church has been done away with. And we're not real confident. And also that according to the prophets, there's no more prophets.
So who are y'all then?
A lot of people are saying that a lot of people come across, oh no, the prophets are done away with.
Oh yeah? It's a lot. We'll probably get back to Revelation 19, verse 10. That cuts at all that shit.
This is Revelation 19 and 10. It says, and I fell at his feet to worship
This
him.
is John the Revelator, okay?
And I fell at his feet to worship
The
him.
book of Revelation means to reveal, okay? So the book of Revelation reveals everything, man. All the prophecies, the MLTV, it reveals actual the color of the Lord. We can get a head-to-toe description of the actual Lord, man, of our Lord. In the book of Revelation, no other chapter except Daniel 7, but it don't go as deep as the book of the revealing, man. Book of Revelation talks about the third woe, the three woes war, and etc. So when you think about the book of Revelation, you're thinking about what the book of revealings, okay? It tells you the first verse. It don't waste no time. He come with clouds. All the eyes shall see him. He come from the ones that pierced him. I'm not saying verbatim. Go right to the point, man. And this is one of them, okay? But to cut that, there's no prophecy anymore. Oh yeah? Okay. Well, we'll see what the book of Revelation is going to reveal to us.
Revelation 19 and 10. And I fell at his feet.
Which the church calls a scary book. If you go to the hey man, what's that? Revelation 1:17. Hey, that's a scary book, brother. That's a scary book, youngin. You know.
Ready to be scared.
Yeah. They don't know. That's why.
It says, and I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of the house.
All right, so that, who did he fall before? Who did John fall before? He fell before another angel. And what did the angel say? Again, sure.
It says, see thou do it not.
Don't do that. Don't bow down to me.
I am thy fellow servant.
I am thy fellow servant, which means what? Servant, which goes back to what I believe worship, right? Meaning that what? He's our fellow worshiper. He's our fellow servant. Servant Yahweh by Shema Shah. So the angels down here on earth know who we are, and the angels around us who encompass us. The scriptures, when 2 or 3 are gathered by name, we're there in the midst of them. Then also says,
Angel of the Lord,
that fear. And Lord, when we fear the Lord, so what does that mean? That there would have to be by default angels surrounding not only us, but all these brothers that fear the Lord. Okay, right now. The angels are here, protecting us. Okay, they're with us. Actually giving us the Holy Spirit to bring out this word, man.
That's the way of serving us.
There you go. Yeah. They serve the Lord because it's an order for them to protect us while they're over. You know? And we're ordered out here to bring out this word. To confess to usher in the name and the power of Yahweh Shema Shah. You know?
It says, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh.
Yeah, see, I'm your brother. We're brothers. So the angels consider us brothers. How special is that? And we are and are at them, and they and are of us. It actually says that in the book of Peters. Okay? So we both have great admiration for each other. That's true love between the brothers. They're amazing. But guess what? As amazing as much as we think and fear, we think about looking at an angel. Guess what? They're just amazing. They're at. They know, but it's like carefully they can't figure it out. They know Yahweh is doing that, but they're just as awe of us pushing that we push Yahweh Shema Shai. We're not even seeing the Lord. We're not even seeing him, touching him, talking to him, and we're doing what we're doing so boldly through the Spirit. So they're blown away right now. So we're brothers, And Yahweh Shai himself said out of his own mouth that we're for his brothers. Right? But anyway, we serve Yahweh Shai.
It says worship Yahweh.
And excuse me, it said testimony, right? Which is my favorite word to break down. Again, when you go to a courtroom and they call it what do they call it? Witness to the stand, right? I call it witness to the stand because they're the one who had the scene of the crime. And another word for the witness is what? He's going to, what did he do? He goes to the witness stand. He gives his testimony. He testifies, right? So that's what it means. And basically, you go into the word wit. Again, when someone says, oh, you got quick wit, what does that mean? That means, oh, he has understanding. He has knowledge. He knows a lot. You know, to be that wit. So wit really goes back to the word having the understanding of or the knowledge of it. All right? Because when you only this witness who came to the stand can tell you the scene of the crime because he was actually there, he saw it. So what does that mean about us? That we actually know the Lord. We know him. That's why we're able to testify him. Because we know him. We see him. We know him. We understand him.
It says,
So that testimony.
all right, it says, see thou do it not, I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy.
That's right. Worship Yahweh Shai. Serve Yahweh Shai. Because what the testimony
Of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy.
the spirit of prophecy. So that cuts that whole there's no such thing as a prophet no more. The prophet is done away with as well. They tell you right there, the spirit of the Lord, the actual spirit of a man of the Lord, is the spirit of prophecy. In the discussion, it literally told you, revealed to you what it means to believe in the Most High. What is the spirit of a believer? Well, it's the spirit of prophecy. Either they're going to bring out the prophecies or believe in the prophecies. There's no way around it. You know?
No.
You guys are open, so I can take it slow.
Isaiah chapter 66, verse 4. I also will choose their delusion and will bring their fears upon them. Because when I called, none did answer. When I spake, they did not hear. But they did evil before mine eyes and chose that in which I delighted not. So basically, you know, the 2/3, they forsake the Lord. And the Lord, the Lord, roughly phrasing, the Lord said he doesn't hear the prayers of the sinners. The sinners are the 2/3. We're all sinners, but we have repented and we're submitting ourselves unto Yahweh Yahushua.
Yeah.
By
Grace.
We're under grace, but being under grace doesn't mean that you can do whatever the hell you want to. Because we're supposed to rehearse the righteous acts in the land of drawing waters. And the land of drawing waters is here, mainly here in America, of our captivity. This is going to be the biggest deliverance of Israel. Because this is spiritual Egypt, spiritual Rome, spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah, etc. These are all the kingdoms rolled up in one big bowl, big ass soup. And the Lord's gonna, not to be too funny, but the Lord's gonna heat up that soup with a nuclear fire.
Oh, that's real funny, brother.
So,
They would call this a melting pot too.
So and you know, the 2/3 they're not gonna get it right. Just like you were bringing out when I first came up, that they need a control alt delete reset. They gotta learn that you do not turn your back on your power, death by pain. And that ultimate judgment is going to be the ICBM missiles. 200 million missiles. The warheads are going to rain down upon this place. It's going to be a nuclear holocaust on all 4 corners of the earth, and that's going to be the great terraforming of the earth to get rid of all wickedness and uncleanness, and unrighteousness.
When against the Lord, you doing things that the Lord don't like. Like Jacob, eating abominable foods. Just out here, just being animals. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the list goes on and on and on. This is why 2/3 of our people hate it. It says that. It says when the Lord spake, they didn't hear. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the Lord, he didn't didn't give the mystery to 2/3 of his people, right? But he gave it to his elect. And so when Yahushua was on the earth, he spoke straight up. But it was a parable. And even though when he said it, not everybody could get it, but those that understood it. So it's the same scenario in a different kingdom. You know? This word is only for the elect. 2/3 of our people, we just gonna be destroyed out there. You know, just being the children of disobedience.
Because, how are the 2/3 going to hear us? I mean, it's like, how is the 2/3 going to hear the Lord? Like the brother over at the other camp, the Lord's not coming down here. He's not going to send angels also down here to prophesy. The Lord has specific, Lord willing, angels in the flesh, which are us, Lord willing, of that number, to come out here and do the bidding, be the representative, the ambassador of Yahweh Yahushua. Come.
That's the first estate.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to bring out,
That's not for the Luke.
yeah, bring it out.
Well, this is Luke 1:7.
Oh, yeah.
This is good. Yeah, you got it. It says, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began.
He spake out of the mouth of the holy prophets. We're the mouthpiece of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. We are the joint, Lord willing, the joint heirs, the ambassadors, the representatives, the spokesmen, Slakia, on the four corners of the earth, speaking the words of prophecy to say before things happen. And what was the end of that?
It said, back in Luke 1:7, it says, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began.
Since had been since the world began. So that's going all the way back to the Garden of Eden. There was prophets out there prophets out in the Garden of Eden prophesying since the beginning of time with the Adamites and the other nations.
Yeah. The Lord, he started to basically find us.
Yeah, and that's when the Lord saw that the Lord knew before even this stuff was established that there had to be some type of division. When I went to boot camp, there was a division between different groups. We couldn't mix with those other groups. There was a reason, because they would have their ways and we would have our ways. That's why the Lord made Israel as a nation, what? Holy. Holy meaning separate. Because if we, what the Lord said, what? Follow not the ways of the heathen. It's because there's a reason. One, we're in this corruptible body, right? This is a corruptible body that has us go off. Because it's not the law, statutes, commandments are not shown in our inward parts yet, not into the kingdom of heaven. And the Lord knew he was going to go off. And if we're easily susceptible to sin through Eve, yeah, how much more the heathen that will worship a damn bird because it looks so magnificent, you know? So and that's what two-thirds they don't fear the Lord. And fear goes into what? Respect. You don't the 2/3 don't respect Yahweh Yahushua.
Not good.
But the Lord's gonna make sure, the Lord during Jacob's trouble is gonna make sure you respect him. And you're gonna know his name. Point blank period. Like in The Wire, what was his name? Rondo? I forgot his name. Marlo. He said, yo, my name in these streets, I deserve respect. My name is my name. So the Lord said, I am that I am to Moses. But that's not the Lord's name. You know, the Lord's name is Yahweh, meaning he exists. Everything you see was ordained by the Heavenly Father through his Son, through the Lord of the elect.
This is 1 Peter 4:6. It says, for this cause was the gospel preached, also to them that are dead. Right? Right? And we know the dead is speaking about brothers, right? What's that? Proverbs says, he that walks out of the way of understanding shall remain under the congregation of the dead. Another page says, right? So it says, for this cause was the gospel preached also to them that are dead, right? Because they got to hear it too, right? Right? Because we got what's that? Ezekiel 33. Right? So, right. It says that they may be judged according to men in the flesh. Right? So it's not going to be an angel that comes down every Friday night or whatever. Right? I got to make there Friday. No, it's not. It's going to be the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushai is going to be given to Israel, also to the other nations, right? So we can warn them of their end, right? It's got to be that message has to be given to men. It's appointed men. The Most High is appointed men, right? It says that they might be judged according to men in the flesh, but live. But here's a kicker. But because anybody can say that. This is a message from God. He told me to tell you this. Right? Right? Well, God told me something this morning. It says that they might be judged according to men in the flesh, but live according to the Most High in spirit. So that's the key. You gotta have somebody that's in tune with the Most High spiritually. How does one in tune with the Most High? They come back to the heritage, knowledge, and wisdom. They come back to the scriptures, and they come back to the heritage. See?
Jeremiah 1 and verse 5. It says, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. Yeah, so that's speaking about the Lord. Because it was saying that certain men, but the Lord already had those men set aside. You know, he already deemed that this man's going to be a prophet, this man's going to be a prophet. That was already your life. You know what I mean? So you can't just you can't basically make yourself a prophet. Yeah, the Lord had to have put that in there.
First Corinthians chapter 14, verse 32. And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets.
Yeah, basically, that goes into to the same prophets that were before the reincarnation. They're here again today. You know, because that's what you're going to be. So if you were a prophet in the past, then when you came back, you're going to prophesy again. You know?
One more piece of slide. Because you brought out Revelation, you were giving so many points. Like I thought of like 8 precepts. Like the main point was Revelation chapter 1.
Oh, the verse brings
Oh yeah, bring that up.
Sorry, why you really said that? This is Revelation. Excuse me, man.
St. John 15, verse 15. This for you, it says, henceforth I'll call you not servant. 16. It says, ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you. Matter of fact, I'll start from 14. I can't ignore it because you think I mentioned earlier. That's the spirit. St. John 15 and 14, of course, and 16, it reads, ye are my friends, if you do whatsoever I command you.
Right here, so right here. Right there. Yes, if you do the Lord,
Spirit. See? Meaning they just told you right there. The only way you can be friends with the Lord if you do what he told you to do. That's how you be the Lord's friend.
you're on the good side, yeah. Yep.
Ye are my This is spirit. But the point in 16, it reads, again, St. John 15 and 14. Ye are my friends, if ye do whatsoever I command you. Henceforth I'll call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth. But it says, but I've called you friends for all things, because the point is, because that proves that the 2/3 are not the Lord's friends, because they don't know what he's going to do. You know, I searched about the but since the spirit and peace, they can do this. But anyway, see that don't hold back though.
Right.
See, that's the spirit, because I hold back. I say, well, we're not in something pastor. I tried to receive him like that. Damn, you just didn't bring the friends right there. I think out here, like that. The spirit. Spirit. You know? Come on, y'all better try. Anyway, it says, henceforth I call you not servants, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth. So that's not us. Even though we are servants, we worship him, but we're like another level of a servant. You know, because really a servant's close to like a friendship. Meaning that we know what the Lord's going to do, because he told us. He's revealing unto us what he's going to do.
I don't think we look at the Lord's will, we hopefully going to be joint heirs. So that's just like a master, you know what I'm trying to say? A regular slave is not going to be joint heirs.
Exactly.
It's a different relationship.
Exactly, yeah. You can have the same abilities and powers, like on his level. He's always going to be better than us. Yeah. That's the years he's our shot. But we're going to be God, basically. You know? We're going to live forever. You know, we're going to govern. We're going to help him in his kingdom. It says, for the servant knoweth not what his Lord doeth, but I have called you friends. For all things that I have heard of my Father, I have made known unto you. Yeah.
Like the Amos 3:7 says,
So that the Lord kept up.
yeah, but revealing the secrets unto the prophets, right? Yeah, so Yahushua let us know what's going on. He let us know the game plan. Like, listen, this is what's going down. While 2/3 of our people don't know anything. And we're out here telling them because the Lord told us. You know, so, yeah.
Right, you don't tell you anything. How would you tell anyone that it's not for you? They're like, nope.
That's because the Lord put that spirit of slumber on us, you know, for a reason. But, you know, we still, nonetheless, we still have to tell them.
Right.
That's just. How shall I just powers? Just when the word just. You know, that's a balance. And that'll be, that'll be unrighteous of the Lord to destroy place and not give warning.
Right.
How can you serve the Lord if you don't have a warning from the Lord? How can you get right and try to please the Lord if you don't have a warning? You don't know that he's going to do something before he do it. You know, the only thing that the Lord is keeping back is the day and the hour of returning power shot, giving that green light. That's the only thing. I mean, there's other things. There's other wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and how shot not revealed to us right now. But you know, like the Lord has already set it up since the beginning of time.
No, it's not. It says, you have not chosen me. It says, you have not chosen me, but I have chosen you and ordained you that you should go and bring forth fruit, and that your fruit should remain, that whosoever you shall ask of the Father in my name, he may give it to you. These things I command you, that ye will love one.
Right, yeah. So basically, the Lord chose us. The Lord's will, we were spirits that were with him from the beginning. You know, so he picked out that remnant, that his favorites, basically, that was going to rock with him. So, you know, that's a beautiful thing. We can't choose the Lord. We can't choose to come into this thing. We were already chosen. Lord's will, right? Yeah.
Revelation chapter 1 verse 1, the revelation of Yahushua HaMashiach, which Yahweh gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass, which is according to prophecy. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John, the Revelator, right? Verse 2, who bear record of the word of Yahweh and of the testimony of Yahushua HaMashiach and of all things that he saw. So, yeah, he's a witness. He's a text, you know. I'm trying to get up that word that the elder brought out. Testimony means a witness, one who attests. You have to have testimony. Testify to our faith that Yahushua is about to return, because we see the spiritual alarm clock going. becomes a series like spiritual alarm clock going off to the prophecy. We're watchmen unto Israel. We're watchmen unto Israel, watching out for the being occupied in prophecy. This whole book is built off of the outshine. It's the word. It comes to the volume of the book. It comes to the spirit of prophecy. You know, we see that we're in World War III right now. You know, America is fighting against Iranian rebel troops. There's a future prophecy of America and Israel invading Iran. That's going to pop off World War III. You know, we see that martial law soon to come to pass. We see that it's going to be a dark winter soon. You know, you see that the famine is going to become the real famine, the real lack of bread is going to come. We see here in New York alone, another lockdown. Yeah, another lockdown, but the love of many shall wax cold. People are getting colder out there. Yeah. Like people are just snapping. The spirit of vengeance is taking out a lot of these females. You know what I'm saying? Having things being done. A lot of these children dying. A lot of these children getting put to death.
And on top of that, with this recession so-called coming in, shit is getting tighter. So that love is not going to be there. People are going to be like, yo, it's me. I gotta survive. What is it called? Dog eat dog. Like, yeah, survival. Yeah, so that's the type of time that we're going into.
That's going into, I believe, 2 Corinthians 15, like in the later verses, and then they shall invade one another's house. Yeah, with swords in their hand. What you think's gonna happen? Just because you was cool with not even a white dude. Chad next door, that's your best buddy in the neighborhood. You live in a gated community. Chad's gonna show that he's an Edomite, and if you try to go over to his house when there's a lack of bread, he's gonna pull out a rifle and he's gonna blast you to blow you away to the heavens. You know what I'm saying? To protect his own.
Yep, he's already been preparing for that for years. So it's like it's going to be a slaughter. Like it's not even going to be a match. These guys got weapons that they've been storing up. They got to love it. The blessing is the sword, so they got to love for that. You know, they hunt, they target practice all day. They teach their little kids, the daughters, the sons. They hit shit. At 5, 6, 7 years old, they shooting guns. So it's like so Jake has no chance.
The only son that we got is coming back to the Lord.
Yeah,
that's the only way that's going to be able to stop Esau. That gave him that blessing. Which is his weapon, his military.
Right? But like we bring out over there, that's a part of the understanding that you're helpless. You can't do anything on your own. You don't have no power. This is not our time to be having no power. You know, we can't do nothing.
But we do have power.
Well, we're not power, right? That faith.
We got your side. We got the gift. We've been blessed, which means the gifting of faith. Yeah, that's just our power is His word.
Yeah, understanding the word.
Yeah. The weapons of our warfare are not carnal. You know?
And applying that wisdom. Yeah. So like when you see what certain shit happen, you know how to move already. Nah, I'm gonna avoid that. Or you know, like, alright, it's getting tight. Let me stay away from them niggas. Yeah. You already know how they come.
Serpents.
Yeah.
Spiritual serpents. You know, the serpent has the highest level of intelligence and energy. And patient too. We're prisoners of hope. To hope for something, you have to be patient. It's not just going to come right away. Lord don't work like that. Not the majority of the time. And then you know we're wise as serpents, harmless as doves. We're spirit. We are Superman out here. In the world, we're Clark Kent. Out here, we feel that power. We know the angels through the spirit, through faith. We know the angels are around us. You know, we believe in how about you know. There's probably a chariot right on top of us for what we believe in.
Well, they're everywhere, man.
Yeah,
But you gotta read up on the history. My coach, you gotta read up on history. So I can get the names better, but there's a count. I forget what it be. I forget the person's name. But remember when the Lord opened up his eyes? Anyway, when the Lord opened up his eyes, anyway, but he opened up a certain man's eyes in the scriptures, which basically revealed all the angels that was around him. That was delicious. I know there was more than one account.
Oh,
The donkey that spoke here. Well, that was because he revealed an angel before him that was about to kill him. But it was another account, I believe, where the Lord opened up. There was a liquid. Okay, God, he opened up their eyes. Right. And he opened up their eyes, and he just saw angels with swords in their hands, and thousands of angels, and all around them. So they're there, man. They're the rule governors and controllers of the earth, surveilling the planet Earth. They're inside Earth, outside. They're right here. Basically, how I think of if you're a video game man, and people who play Grand Theft Auto or those open world games, so to speak. I always think about the angels being the ones holding the controller. They're the ones controlling it.
I got that account.
Okay, how you okay?
So 2 Kings 6, and I'll start at 16. It says, and he answered, fear not, for they that be with us are more than they that be with them. And Elisha prayed and said, Lord, Yahweh I pray thee, open his eyes that he may see. And the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire round about Elisha.
You see? So you saw a number of chariots, we call UFOs. All right, you saw a number of angels. All right, everywhere, man. So, they're here, man. If they're being seen, they want you to see them. And that proves that they're one of the last days now, because what's the Most High doing? Yahweh Shemashah, they're revealing the angels. They're revealing the chariots. You see them every day on social media. And people are recording, and that's part of prophecy. You should see certain aspirations and things in the heavens, signs of the times. Yeah, be not dismayed at the sign. That's one of the signs. And another one is, it's a curse onto America too. This is a curse onto America, because ultimately, how are you going to be brought down? By the chariots of the Heavenly Father, right? Which I believe is just hitting still talking out here, or willing. I believe they're more powerful than the nuclear weapons. They were having than the nuclear missiles. So they're as that's a hard thing about. I mean, the missiles, man. They're come on, hotter than the surface of the sun. Only two of them, like Putin just declared, could take out the whole East Coast. 4 Satan missiles, like Putin just declared, take out the whole United States. So how much more powerful? And it's prophesied going to be over 200,000 nuclear missiles shot down here. And then we're not even, let alone the chariots, which are going to shoot down lasers, prophesied from Holy Scriptures, that are going to shoot down lasers here in America. So this place is going to be utterly destroyed, man. Oh, excuse me. Wow. 200 million, see? Damn, man. I can't even really, can't fathom that, man. I mean, damn. You can't imagine it, man. But we do understand why the scriptures say the earth will rock to and fro. Yeah, I understand now. Well, we understand. Because this place is going to be utterly beaten, man. Like when just beating a dead horse, just, hand, your stomachs, just keep going, man. The Lord's going to totally beat this place down. That's just nuclear weaponry. We're not talking about the chariots that's going to get involved too, man. That's why it's going to be nothing but powder here, man. When you meditate on the destruction, and it's going to represent the anger of the Lord. That's going to represent the fury and the anger of the Lord when the Lord destroys this rich America, man. That's what we're praying for. That's the spirit of the Lord, man. That America get utterly destroyed, and it will. It will happen, man. You got Putin in your face bragging about what he can do to this country, man. You got China state threatening you, man, out here. Anyway.
This is Isaiah chapter 13 and 5. It says, they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land.
Yeah, what's his weapons of his indignation? Well, one of them is the smith, right, or the glittering sword, right, which is the nuclear missiles, man. ICBM, intercontinental ballistic missiles. And then also part of its weaponry of warfare is of the chariots, man. That's part of the Lord's military. You know, you got certain people in the military. They got tanks, right? And they got tank shootout stuff. Well, that's the chariots of the Lord's tanks, man. He's coming with the whole arsenal, man, to destroy this bitch. Because this place has to be, it will be destroyed. It don't have, you know, it will be. Because this place is wicked, man. You got demons out here outwardly challenging the Lord, saying, well, like Yuval Noah Harari is saying again, well, we can make God as angry as we like. We don't care. Yes. Yeah, he's not but an ant. But this is the mindset, and these are small hat. A Skittles pack is small hat, by the way. You know? But all they're never control the nation, right? And 2/3 things like that too. All the wicked, man. Well, we'll see, man. And we're about to see. You know? Anyway, slide.
Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire.
That's right. Burning the fuel of fire. Right? I mean, that doesn't need a breakdown, man. Okay? Doesn't need a breakdown, man. Fuel of fire, which means what? Utter fire, man. It's perfect sense because the Lord 100% deals with duality, which is part of you know, his discernment, his judgment, the right and the wrong. There's only two things. There ain't no third thing, man. Well, on the deeper sense, but the main point is there's only duality, right and wrong, truth and lies. All right? The whole world, been two worlds too. Well, not two worlds. The kingdom's going to be the third version of the world. Oh, of the world. But what happened with the first time? The Lord flooded the place, man. Now what's he going to do? He destroyed it by water. Now he's going to do it by fire. And the beautiful thing about it, they're both cleansing agents. If you love the grill, which I do, right? How you clean? You don't put soap and water on the grill before you put snow. You light it, man, on fire, and then you brush it with a bristle brush. And that fire, once it's done, takes a few minutes. Get it red hot, and that thing's totally clean, man. Once you brush it, you know. So this place is going to be utterly cleansed by fire.
You said that back in Isaiah 13. Jump to verse 19. It says, "In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation." This is Isaiah 13 and 19. It says, "In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees."
Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldeans. Now, in the Bible, this is not a picture Bible, right? You're not going to see America and the United States flag next to the script, all right? But spiritual detectives, process of elimination. What did it say? The glory of kingdoms?
Yep. It says, "In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms."
Well, first of all, Babylon, all right? It says it right there. Babylon, we always bring out, comes from the Hebrew word babel, which means what? Confusion, all right? Again, you got people out there who pull down their pants and they don't even know what gender they are, man. All right? Oh, you got Elder Zakarano just did a show about the school system that they're teaching kids that there's 10 different genders. And they're being taught by the gender bred man. Yeah. Yep. Anyway, that's confusion, man. You got women who actually think they're better and they can beat up a man, man. Until they get in the ring, then they find out, or until a transgender gets in there and breaks their ankle, breaks their kneecap. Oh, well, why? Well, that's what they did to the hypocrites. That transgender swimmer.
Yeah, he just destroyed the whole everything.
Yeah, but now he's banned now. They finally got him out of there. You know, because the women think it's unfair. But wait a minute. I thought transgenders are, you know,
Right.
but not when it goes against your agenda, right? Or it makes you look stupid. Yeah, when they start dominating your dumb ass. She's like, well, I was naturally born a woman. Yeah, he may be a woman, I'm a natural. What are you saying then? Then he's not a woman then. If you're going to birth. You see how this is Babylon, man. What other country is saying that in the world?
Right.
All right? It says Babylon and then what?
It says, and Babylon, the glory of kingdoms.
The glory of kingdoms. What's the glory of kingdoms? It would have to be a superpower. So there's no superpower like America. There's never been a place like America to this as far as power and control. There's been places like America, like Rome, and Greece, and Egypt, but America is those kingdoms on steroids, man. All right. There you go. We got the whole earth. The entire globe is in Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Now they had at the time they used to use the same phrase for the Egyptians, for the Greeks, and the Romans. Even said when Alexander the Great conquered nations, he said he conquered the world. But really, he did that part of the world, the known world, right? So, but really now with the global things, you know, there weren't people on the other side of the world except our people, you know, like it is now. Now we have the whole planet Earth.
They say the known world.
Yeah, they say the known world back, you know. So, and who had power to control the whole world? Well, it officially happened after World War II, at the Manhattan Project. But Fat Boy and Little Boy, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the bombs were dropped there, atomic bombs. After that, like you said in Revelations, by these miracles, he controlled the whole world. So that proved that right there, that's a superpower. And then they said the glory was the son of the Chaldeans.
That's the beauty of the Chaldeans' excellence.
The beauty of the Chaldeans' excellence. What was the beauty of the Chaldeans' excellence? Their witchcraft. That's what the hell Chaldean means. It goes back to the witchcraft. America is started by another way by witchcraft. Look at your goddamn dollar. Well, pretty soon you won't be able to because you're going to be cashless pretty soon. By December 13th. Dummies. So you're under a goddamn spell, man. And you're still under a spell to believe in a fucking monopoly paper and you could blow each other's heads off a fucking a toy piece of paper, man. Has no goddamn credit, no nothing. The white man told you it was a form of commerce. Oh well, yeah. Then you got little midgets like Money Mayweather sleeping in money, thinking that's he reached he reached some kind of level, whatever, man. So that right there has to be talking about America, man.
I'll read it from the top again. It says, it's Isaiah 13:19, and Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, beauty of the Chaldeans' excellency, shall be as when Yahweh shall overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah.
That's right. It should be as when the Most High, through His Son, right? It's just like how they did Sodom and Gomorrah, how they overthrew it. So America, hey, what's the scripture? They declared their sin in Sodom and hide it not. I mean, I don't need to break it down, man. America outwardly, man, they telling not only outwardly, they telling other countries, look, man, give homosexual people rights. Having interviews with people from Africa. Hey, man, you should liberate them, you know. But the people in Africa, they don't even agree with you. There's probably like 1 or 2 gay people out of every 1 million people over there, man. So the majority disagrees with it. So they're not going to allow it, man. They don't play that shit. And they don't want it in part of their culture. You don't got the overall truth there, man. Look at your fucking society. Look at your family. Look at this. Look what you eat, man. You guys are the most obese people on the planet Earth. I was looking at the beloved brother of Manatsasak, Shalom Market, watching out there in South Carolina, a live show he did last night. Everybody was averaging about 300 pounds, man. That was passing by, especially Jake. And yet, really, it was women, really. Jacob and Esau, about 350, 300, man. And you got but intelligence shows you really the sign of an intelligent person or someone who's highly intelligent, they're in shape. They're fit. Because someone who's smart knows what to put in their body. These fucking idiots, man. Look at these fat fucks around here, man. Huh? These people are the most sickest people on the planet Earth. But yet they want to govern. And again, the homosexuality, they're the most sickest people on the planet Earth, man. The health insurance companies will tell you that. It's a lot, man.
No, that was it.
Okay.
Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, people mourn.
No, that's right. That's why that these people have what? Who's getting the monkeypox right now? Yeah, Skittles package freaks, man. All right? Here it is. And you want to tell a country, now you should do it this way. Why you got all these goddamn bumps in your face? Anyway. Read it again, Brother Bishop.
Proverbs chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, people mourn.
Yeah, that's not hard, again, to understand, man. Obviously, the wicked are ruling because all people are mourning. And my favorite stat I like to use is America makes up 5% of the world's population, which is almost, we're reaching about 9 million people. It should be dropping if the world increasing that well anyway. But they make up what, 25 to 30% of the world's antidepressant drugs. So that means antidepressant means you're trying to get away from the depression. So that means you're mourning, man. Which means you have wicked rulers.
Who supplies the drugs?
Oh, of course, the devil.
The devil himself. Deceive, the slander. He's the biggest drug dealer, witch on the face of the earth. Like the brother was bringing out, all he does is just prolong your sickness and gives you the illusion that you're getting better. While he's sucking up all your life insurance, medical insurance, and then like a parasite. He's a parasite of the world.
Hey, just they say one cancer patient is $40,000 a minimum. You know, so $40,000 right there for the It's more than that. That's minimum. That's not including how bad his case is. You know, how many prescriptions he has to take, how many times he sees his doctor, chemo, surgery. You know, and then ultimately death. Anyway.
We jump to verse 16. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 16. When the wicked are multiplied, transgressions increase. But the righteous shall see their fall. Proverbs chapter 29, verse 16. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases. But the righteous shall see their fall.
Yeah, when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases. But what?
But the righteous shall see their fall.
But the righteous shall see their fall. And Lord willing, we are those righteous, man. Because who else is doing what we do? Who else is talking about some of the apostles down, the MOTB, you know, the RFID chip, the Lord, who he is, and we are to worship him, what he represents. No other camp is doing that. You know? All right? Anyway, dummies like that's going to be destroyed, man. So, basically, the righteous who we are, we're going to see the downfall of America, man. All right? Bottom line. So with that, we'll close camp and say, Halal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Barakadash. Death to America. All right, Kwame Arshab.
Dam Alahayim.